Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. My name is Amir. The Miami Heat picked up a thrilling home victory last night against the Portland Trail Blazers. They won 136 to 131, and we have a lot to unpack in this recap. I want to talk about the up and down momentum in this game, the offense for both teams, talk about players that are rising in terms of their stock, and just the Miami Heat are continuing to play really good offense with key players out. So let's get into it. So the Miami Heat last night at Kaseya Center, they won their fourth game at home. They're 4-0 at home this season. So they're protecting home court, which is a good sign to see. And the Blazers in this game, they've been great. Like, they've been a surprise as a young and up and coming team. They've been pretty solid. They have some good veterans, obviously, with Jeremy Grant, adding Drew Holiday into the mix. They obviously have Damian Lillard, but he's going to be out for the season with that Achilles injury that he obtained during the playoffs with the Bucks, unfortunately. But they have been great. They've been a surprise, beating a lot of good teams. They are the only team that have beat the Thunder this year. And they have a really good offense, and they had a lot of offensive firepower, and they were ready for this road trip. But the Miami Heat brought the Thunder, and they were able to pull out a huge victory in a tight game. And in terms of the offense, the Miami Heat's offense, they were off to a very slow start. They were ice cold. They missed 14 of their first 15 shots, and they fell into a 15-3 early hole. And I thought, here we go again. The Miami Heat are inconsistent, and it's going to be a rough night. But they were able to turn this around pretty quickly. And in the final 19 minutes or so of the first half, they poured in 69 points, taking a 72-65 lead into halftime. And they scored 45 points in that second quarter. Last season, there were so many quarters where the Miami Heat had struggled to score even 20 to 25 points in a quarter. And right now, they're a top 5 points per game team, which is incredible because Tyler Hero, their best scorer and leading scorer from last season, hasn't even played a game yet. And Bam Adebayo's now missed a few games. He was our second leading scorer after Norman Powell, averaging 22 points per game, yet we're still able to pull off these victories, still have a cohesive offense, a dynamic offense, which is good. We do rely on the three a lot, which could be an issue further down the road. But once we get Tyler Hero back, that's a 3-level score that we need. Obviously, Bam Adebayo will settle us a little bit as well. So huge resiliency for the Miami Heat. They didn't panic during that rough start. They were able to ramp up their execution, hit some key shots, play some decent defense. But their offense showed versatility while they're scoring in transition. They're hitting shots off penetration, especially with the driving kick. They were finding open looks for their teammates. They're unselfish, which is a good thing. So when the Heat have hit over 115 points this season, they're 6-2. So they need to keep scoring to win. And that's a good thing because that speaks about their identity. When the team really flows on offense, they're dangerous because they're a top 5 defensive rated NBA team, which is huge for them to improve this drastically on offense while improving technically on defense. Last year, they were 9th in defensive rating. I think before this game, they were going into the game with the 5th best defensive rating. So they've improved defensively as well. In the fourth quarter, the game was tight, and the Miami Heat made enough plays at the end that they needed. Specifically, Andrew Wiggins drilled a huge 3 in that game with 132 left to put the Miami Heat up and ahead, 132 to 127. He put them up for good. He's been great. He's been a solid player so far this year. Can't complain about Andrew Wiggins. He hit some tough shots. He's been efficient from the field. And he scored, what did he score tonight? I think he scored like 15 or so, but he was averaging in the last 3 games 22 points per game. So big time shot for him. Huge execution. That's what separates the good teams from the great teams. And I'm not saying the Miami Heat are a great team or a contender right now, but they're a fun team to watch. And they're now 6-4, which is good. Nikola Jović, man, he finally woke up. Yes, he had a good game. I think it was against the Grizzlies where he scored 20 points, where the Heat dominated and we're up by like 50 in that game. But outside of that, he's been inconsistent. He's having a down start to his season. Early season, he's only 22. Yes, he's been in the league for 4 years, but he's been so hurt. And he's not hurt right now. So he's been inconsistent and he's been a disappointment early on. But after, those games where he's been quiet or inconsistent, he exploded for a career high 29 points last night. Huge off the bench, huge confidence, playing great defense too, which, that's an underrated part of his development and growth. 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Full on game. Not only did he have a career high, but he rebounded better, which we need him to do because he's one of our taller players. And we need him to be a playmaker in transition. He pushed the pace, which is great, which is what we're trying to do. 7 assists off the bench. Huge game for him. His career high in the past was 24. So this is a meaningful step forward. And what I hope is he can continue to play aggressively and efficiently. I don't expect him to score 29 points again, but just be consistent. That's all I ask for. And what I liked about this game for Nico is he didn't just score and get that career high. He had the 9 boards. He had the 7 dimes. He impacted the game in multiple ways. He played defense, which is important. He is obviously embracing this role. He just needs to be confident, I think. I think the psychological aspect of the game could be difficult for a young player like who has higher expectations after getting a contract, who's been off to a slow start. You could see some games where he's not dribbling as well and not as confident. I think once he becomes more confident, like after a game like this, that could be huge for him to be more consistent moving forward. So I'm happy for Nico. This kind of breakout, again, yeah, it's a confidence builder, and that's what we're looking for. Just be more assertive, make the right plays, attack the closeouts, hit the 3 when you're open, like show that you're more than just a scorer, get those rebounds, set those screens, even if you're not in the action. Just do whatever you can to contribute to winning. And so good night for him. Of course, he wasn't alone. Norman Powell continues to be amazing. Norman Powell dropped 22 points for the Miami Heat. Pelle Larsson, he's been starting now, I think 7 straight games, scored 16 points. He's been amazing. I love his tenacity and his grit. And if he can continue to score at this type of level, that's going to continue to have this Miami Heat team scoring consistently in the 120 range, 125 range. That's what we need. Andrew Wiggins, like I mentioned, added 15 points. He's been great. Jaime Jaquez, 6th man of the year, hopefully, like just been killing it off the bench. Chipped in 14 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. He's been a Swiss Army knife. He's been doing it outside of just scoring in the paint. He has been also rebounding, playing good defense. So depth has been key for this Miami Heat team. We have so many contributors that are off the bench. Our bench is one of the leading scoring benches in the NBA, which has been great, and it keeps this Miami Heat team dynamic. This is a team that's going to be even deeper when Tyler Hero comes back. He hasn't played a game yet. Like, let that sink in. Like, our roster is going to be deeper because we're adding a all-star to this team. Bam is out the last few games as well. So we have not had 2 of our best players on this roster at times. Norman Powell has missed 3 games. So we have depth. We have guys that are stepping up like Pella, like Jaime, hopefully Nico. And we do have 2 roster spots technically. One right now, and then hopefully Terry Rozier, this whole thing gets settled and we can have another roster spot, which means we can add to our bench. And I love that our bench is stepping up. And players like Jaime, like I've mentioned, obviously, Simone Fontecchio has been a breath of fresh air. Huge addition as well. Drew Smith has been solid when he's out there, one of the better defenders in the NBA. Like, these guys are great in their roles off the bench. And Nico finally woke up last night, and let's hope for that consistency. And again, I want him to score like 13, 14, 15 points per game, somewhere in that 13 to 15 range. He averaged 11 last season. His averages have gone down to like 8 this year. And I just want him to get up to like 13 to 15 points per game, like 4 rebounds, 4 assists. That's going to be huge for this Heat's offense. On the other side of the ball, Denny Avdia looks really good, like 33 points. He helped them hang around and made it tough for the Miami Heat, but the Miami Heat still found a way, which is a good sign. And this kid looks good, man. He's having a breakout season. I think he's averaging 25 points per game for the Blazers. And this was a great trade that the Blazers made to get him from the Wizards. So I like his ability to shoot the 3 ball. He uses his size. He's 6'8". He can get to the rim, get to the free throw line. I think he's a good player. So good pickup by the Portland Trailblazers. So key takeaways from the game. So the Heat's offense is legit when it's firing. Like, again, when they reach 115 plus points, they typically win the game. So that's a good statistic there. Jovic is stepping up was another key takeaway. A breakout night like last night could be a turning point for him. So huge kudos to him and flowers to Jovic. The depth and execution in the fourth quarter, they held off the Portland Trailblazers when they made a run when it mattered. So that's great. Another key takeaway, they started off slow, which was not great, but they were able to minimize that and hit some key shots and play tough on both ends of the floor. And that was huge for the Heat. So great game for the Miami Heat. And if we look across the box score, guys I didn't really mention. So Davion Mitchell, solid game, 26 minutes, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, continues to be a good playmaker, obviously defender as well. 1 for 2 from 3, 2 for 2 from the line. He did have 5 steals, only 1 turnover. So he's been amazing. Kel'el Ware, 23 minutes, solid game for Kel'el. No complaints there. 9 points, 12 rebounds. He needs to work on his rebounding. He had like 2 or 3 rebounds that he should have gotten as well. This guy could easily be getting like 15 rebounds a game if he learns. He needs to consult with like Dennis Rodman or any like Drummond. He's in the league still, but Andre Drummond. He needs to learn how to rebound like those guys. But still, solid game. 4 for 8 from the field. 1 for 3 from the free throw line. 3 blocks again, back-to-back games with 3 blocks, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. Solid game for him. I can't complain. And then Drew Smith, great first half. Great first quarter, came in there, electric, was getting to the rack, scoring in the paint. And he was 13 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 for 6 from the field, 1 for 1, or 5 for 6 from the free throw line, actually. Yeah, so he was getting into the paint, scoring, getting to the foul line. He had 4 steals, only 1 turnover. Huge game for him. Fontecchio, a little quiet game for him, but still 7 points, 1 rebound, 2 for 4 from 3, 1 from the free throw line. He looked good. So happy for this Miami Heat victory. Big victory for the Miami Heat at home. Next up, they're playing the Cavs back-to-back, not back-to-back nights, but back-to-back games, essentially. They're playing Monday and Wednesday against the Cavs, so that's going to be tough. Tough opponent against the East. They're looking pretty good, and we'll see what happens. But that wraps it up. Again, the Miami Heat looked good last night, winning 136-131 at home with Nikola Jović stealing the show, offense clicking. The home team was energized. The crowd was energized, and I love seeing this. I hope this becomes a trend for Nico. So if you guys like the video, also just make sure to subscribe, and we'll be back with more Miami Heat breakdowns. And again, yeah, make sure to turn on the notification bell as well so you don't miss the next video. Thanks again for watching. Again, I appreciate the time.